Welcome back to Capitol Review. I'm Mark Hall. The National Park Service says the controversial Confederate monument will soon be reinstalled in October. Well, this is the moment the Albert Pike statue was toppled by protesters in June of 2020. The Confederate General's monument is near the corner of 3rd and D Streets Northwest. It was then set on fire amid the national protests after the murder of George Floyd, authorized by Congress in 1898 and dedicated in 1901. The statue has been controversial for decades. But now the National Park Service says it's in line with President Trump's executive orders. It will restore and reinstall the statue, which honors Pike's leadership.
I think it's a disgrace because, 400 years of slavery and putting up Confederate statues as well as having the Confederate flag is disrespectful as an African American.
Site preparation to repair the statue's base will begin shortly. The NPS expects to have the statue reinstalled in October. Meanwhile, Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton said that she plans to reintroduce a bill to remove the statue. And joining us now is Dr. Omekongo Dibinga. He's a political science professor at American University, and he's also a principal at Upstander International. Dr. Dibinga, welcome back to Capitol Review.
Thanks for having me.
We're always glad to have you. Obviously, a big talker here in the district is the return of a Confederate statue into the district. Your response to that?
Well, it's what the comedian Jon Stewart calls America's racial wallpaper. What Pete Hegseth is determined to do is put up symbols of racism in this country. And I don't know any country that celebrates losers like the United States does. And so to put up these statues of people that represented racism and white supremacy and the Confederacy, you're talking about, we have to be mindful of the fact that no Confederate statues were built during the Civil War. They started to go up in the 1900s with this mindset of the South shall rise again. So this statue, Albert Pike, was built in 1901. This was a man who was in the Confederacy. Also, they say he was part of the KKK as well. So why would you want to put that up? And on top of that, he's saying that, oh, we're making sure that we don't get rid of America's history. I'm not saying to get rid of history. I'm saying the Confederate story belongs in museums and history books. Doesn't need to be celebrated across Washington, D.C.
What does this mean? Is this sending a message to the people of the District of Columbia or in people across the country?
It is sending a message. It's sending a message that this is the story that we believe is important for America. Mind you, this is happening at the same time where other stories about America are being taken out of books. Look at the Department of Defense at one point removed Jackie Robinson. They got rid of Harvey Milk, who was an openly gay politician who served in the Korean War. They got rid of a ship named after him. And they're removing history within our schools. So they're removing stories of black and brown people and people of other backgrounds, Jewish, Muslim, and the like, and replacing it with white Confederate stories to promote a white supremacist agenda, and that's a problem.
Some academics like you would say, well, this is bringing back history, yet this administration, specifically President Trump, they seem to have taken steps to erase black history. He pressured Mayor Bowser to get rid of Black Lives Matter Plaza. Some would say that this is part of a white nationalist agenda. The strong words. Do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. This was what Project 2025 was all about. Almost 50% of Project 25, the agenda has already been implemented in the United States. And it's not just to get about getting rid of black stories, stories of women and the great work that women have done to advance this country, stories about people with disabilities. You can run down the list, and anything that doesn't resemble a white, heterosexual, Christian, male, dominant mindset is being erased from the United States. This is what he calls, peace through strength when he talks about militarily, but he's also doing that through the history books and putting up these statues.
What can be done to preserve all of history? Does it start in the classroom or does it start at home?
It starts, I would say it starts in the classroom, but it's important to have a connection between the home and the classroom, because what children are learning at home should be fortified in the classroom and vice versa. But we need to have a strong curriculum. That's where it starts, K to 12. I speak at schools all across the country. Some schools I'm going to, they're talking about things relating to equal rights and civil rights in kindergarten, in first grade, through the idea of sharing, all of the stuff we teach our toddlers. others. And then when it gets to the second, third, fourth, fifth grade, they can have deeper conversations. And so it starts with the schools, but it's in conjunction with the parents. And when you remove the schools from it, when you have schools being scared to talk about it, and then you throw in these Confederate statues right in people's faces, you're letting them know that you're going to go with our narrative or you're going to be put out.
Quickly, Dr. Dominguez, should part of the conversation in the classroom talk about what these monuments, or at least the return of the monuments, represent?
Absolutely. I do not want Confederate history erased. I want it taught. I want it to be in its proper place, in the books, in the museums. That's where it needs to be, not celebrated across the city with statues.
Dr. Dominguez, thank you so very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.